Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft studio. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous Coneflower Celebrations Faux Centre Step card. So that's how it stands up. And you can see how pretty is this. I'm using two-tone cardstock here. So these are the options that I have. So this is one side of the two-tone and this is the other side. And this, stamp bundle I missed completely in the catalogue. Am I in shot here? Yeah. So it's on page 82 of the main catalogue, annual catalogue, and I don't think it does it justice in this on this page here. So here's the stamp set. It's got some really nice greetings, including a belated birthday. Actually, it was pretty handy. But also you can cut this one out, which is the one I have here. So you can stamp inside. There's also this layer you can put on top to make it a bit more 3D. So it's a really lovely set. I would definitely suggest having a look. And just while I've got the catalogue here, we are using these in colour papers. So this page here, 121, has all the colour families with these papers in. And this is one of the B-sides here. And just to say, actually, we're in August. And throughout August from the 5th, any product with in colour, the current in colour colours, the 2025 27 will have 15% off. So these papers will be included in that. So cardstock, inks, DSP, pattern paper that has any of the in colours in, marker pens, blends, you name it, bling. So really good time to stock up on those in colours. So I've done two versions here, like I said, and this is with cloud cover and this is with strawberry slush. This is strawberry slush. I'm going to do another cloud cover one, but this time with this this side of the two-tone cardstock. So again, the two-tone cardstock is in the upcoming sale. So let me show you the supplies you need. Okay, so you need a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and this measures 4 inches by 11.5 inches. You need a couple of pieces of basic white cardstock, not the thick particularly, but this one measures 2 inches by 5.25 inches. This is for this piece here. I've got another piece here, so just a scrap, just to stamp out these leaves and the stem. So, you know, enough to do that. Put that to one side so I don't get those mixed up. You need a piece of designer series paper that measures 3 7/8 by 1 7/8. A piece of cloud cover cardstock here. This measures 2.25 inches by 8 inches. And a piece of two-tone cardstock. I've cut this to measure 4 inches by 4 3/4, but you know, you might want to work in bigger pieces there, but I know I can get one of these cut out of that. Okay, so I think that's all the supplies you need for now. Let me go ahead and show you how I made this. I'm just gonna check that's still in shot. Okay, so take your piece of the biggest piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to bring in my scoring tool. Again, I'm going to check I'm in shot. Okay, so ignore this little marker here, that would be for something else. So on the long side, you want to score at 3 3/4 inches, at 7.5 inches, and at 9.5 inches. Okay, and then while we've got this here on our cloud cover piece here, we are going to score at 5.5 inches. Okay, so that's all the scoring done. Okay, so let's do a bit of our stamping here actually while I've got this out, because I need to pack it into my class box. Now I couldn't find my current Garden Green ink, so I've got a really old ink pad here, but still a current colour, so we're all good. So I've popped both leaves on one stamp here, one block, sorry. I'm just going to stamp those there, and then this, put that right in the ink at the end, this one, along the side here, and it's meant to be quite sketchy like that, so don't worry. And then while we're stamping, I've actually loaded my stamp here up on the Stamparatus for class, because I want to make sure that everyone stamps in the right place on here. But you could of course use this big block here, which is blocky, so you would stamp that on here. So you just need to make sure that that goes on one end, and then you will have this space for the die to cut the other piece. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this time I'm going to stamp on the lighter side, but still using this Strawberry Slush ink pad. So let's ink it up. Unfortunately, of course, we don't sell these anymore, the Stamparatus, but like I say, just use a bigger block, and it will come out quite sketchy. That's fine. It's so pretty, isn't it? Right, I'm going to take that out of there, put it in my class box. Okay, so the reason I've got such a big piece of two-tone paper here is because you need to get that other piece on as well. Now this will go one way or the other. They're not perfectly equal, because when they flip over, obviously they need to be the same. So just see which side lines up, which is this side here. And I've cut it so that there's just enough, I've gone over a little bit too far, just enough on there to cut the whole piece. So I'm going to cut this out. There's also dies for these two pieces. You can fussy cut the leaves as well, actually, and I think I did on this one, because I quite like them not having the white around the leaves, but I would suggest that you use the dies for the stems anyway. But I'm going to go ahead, cut these out, and I will be right back. Okay, here's all these bits. Also, while I was there, and I forgot to say, I've cut this little piece out here, which is up here in early Espresso. So I'm just going to put these dies back in for my class. Okay, so how cute is this? So this folds over in half. As you can see, that meets really nicely now. And I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of glue on the back of here, just really sketchy, and just pop this on the top of here. There is also a stamp that you can stamp the detail on, but I think that looks really good. Let's bring the darker one in, because that's what we're doing. The difference we're doing, I should say. Okay, so here's our base. So the first fold you want to do, we've got the two smaller bits at the bottom, is fold away from you here, and then fold back on itself. Okay, so we're creating that little kind of mountain fold there. So give these a little burnish. Oops, got a bit of string coming in. So you've got that, and then you want this one to be the stand at the back. Just gonna check I've got it all lined up nicely here. So this is what you want. So you want a mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, so that's how it folds up. Right, so actually one more thing we need to do is emboss this layer here. Now I've used gosh, I can't think what it's called. It's like Dainty Flowers or something. It's an online exclusive embossing folder, but I will put it in the details below. But it's really, it's a much bigger folder than this. Let's get something behind it so we can actually see. Nope. That doesn't show very well. Let's use this piece. Really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss this, and I'm just choosing a section over here that's got the most embossing detail on it. So I'm going to pop that through and I'll be right back. Right, keep moving these out the way. Let's bring them back in. That's in shot. Okay, so we've got our piece here. Let's bring in our cloud cover piece. So this just folds on that score line. Give it a little burnish. And then this layer here is going to stick over the top here. So let's pop some glue on the back. Just check I've got it the right way up. It's really pretty, and I wanted something quite delicate under here so that it didn't detract from the flower too much. Ooh, oh dear. Oh, that was kind of lucky. But I wanted some detail under there. Okay, so we're going to stick our designer series paper, our patterned paper on this piece here. And you could choose, you know, one of the other sides if you want. Just checking I've cut this to the right size. Yes, I have. Okay, so liquid glue on the back of here. I just wanted a little bit of detail underneath. And I'm giving my ladies a choice in class of cloud cover or strawberry slush. They both work really well, I think. Okay, so with this piece here, it's going to stick in line with that little piece of paper at the bottom. It's kind of middle, side to side, and then it's going to stick on the back here. So we don't want anything stuck anywhere else. So I'm just going to flip this over. Just put a little bit of glue on this piece, not too far up. Probably go a bit further up than that, but not too far. And like I say, just with this close, just going to line it up. I just lined it up with the base of the paper here, about there. Okay, make sure that's stuck. And then flip it over without opening it up, and you're just going to stick that little piece on the back here. So keep it all folded up, glue on here, and press that over there. So you don't have to worry about guessing where it goes, it all just lines up. So pretty. And you could do this with all sorts of papers. Now the one thing I forgot to do before that bit, I wonder if I'm just going to quickly peel that off actually, because I'm going to just stamp some splatters on here, which I forgot. This little bit behind just gives a little bit of detail there again. So this is a stamp in the set as well, and I'm doing it in cloud cover. So you can just come off the page a bit for some of them. And not a lot of this shows, so just trying to get it to look quite random. That'll be fine. I'll go and stick it back down. Again, you could put some paper on the back on that piece, or you could emboss it. But I just wanted to keep that quite simple. Okay, no harm done. There we go. Okay, so it just gives that little bit of detail behind there, and you can always come in at the side and put a little bit more in if you want to. I may do that because that side's looking a bit bare. There we go. So that's that bit done. Cool, pretty. Right, so with the flower, we're going to stamp inside here in early espresso just to match the little this little piece on the outside, and we're going to stamp It's Your Day, which is in the stamp set. So pop that in the middle there. Okay, so let's bring in our stem and leaves. Now, when you put this on, you need to have it quite near the bottom. Actually, I'll just say as well, on this one, I've just used a blender pen just to bring in some of the colour from the ink here. I might leave this one just as it is, but it just softens the leaves a little bit, so it's up to you if you do that, or if you leave it like this. And of course, you can use a different green if you want it a little bit lighter. So this one, you can have a little practice about where you want to put it as well, but I know it's about here. But pop this at the top, you kind of want it hiding that top corner a little bit, maybe coming this way a bit like that. So have that on like that. Now I've put dimensionals on the back of here, but you need to be careful where you place them so they don't show behind here. So I'm going to flip this over, and you just want a little kind of diamond shape here so that you don't go too far off. And I'm just going to have a little look before I stick that down to see where I need to go with this. I might put that one a little bit too high up. I could come out a little bit. Just have a little, you know, look to see where you might want them. do all that. So backing's off. And then again, I just want to check before I stick it down. Yeah, happy with that. But how sweet is that? So that's the difference between the two colours there. I don't actually know which one I prefer. I like them both. And then this one here, we're just going to pop the leaves on. You can cut around to get rid of the white if you'd like. You can see the difference there from colouring them in. I might should I do them? I'll just show you how it comes out if you do those. I think it makes quite a nice difference. So these are our blender pens, and you get a pack of 3 in the catalogue. I'll put the link below, and you can just draw in some of the colour here from the ink that's already on there. Now I wouldn't go over too much because it will start to bubble, the cardstock, because there's not loads of ink on here, but it's just drawing in a little bit, just to give it a little bit of colour. Like I said, don't go over too much because it will start to bubble. There we go. And then you just run it clear. So they are great because you can use them again and again on different colours. Yeah, they run clean. So here I've kind of tucked this one under a little bit because I didn't want the white on there. So if you would rather fussy cut, that might be an option. I don't know if I can get it under here now. And I just kind of stuck it so that some of that was underneath there. And let's have a look with this one. So pretty. Oops. Just stick that on there because it's got a bit of white there anyway. I'm just going to put it nearer the bottom because I think that's going to go off the page a little bit. Only a little bit. Very sweet. Okay, and then I've got a stamp for the back. There is actually a stamp in there that would also be great, and I can't think what it's called at the moment, but I've got a little stamp from this set here, which I mainly bought for greetings. It is in the catalogue, but I really like the greetings in this set called Loveliest Tree, and I'm using the happy birthday because it's quite small, and I didn't want to take up too much space where you're going to want to write. So I'm just going to stamp this in Strawberry Slush on the back. Okay, back over, and then we're just going to finish off with these Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. These are really pretty. I'm just going to put a little trio and one down here, here. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed making my Coneflower Celebrations Faux Centre Step card. Take care, see you soon, bye.